right. Hello, everybody. Hello, this is Judy Carter, and welcome on How to Use Periscope to create income and followers with Livestream, Katya, and myself. Now, before I introduce Katya, go away, Katya. I'm going to give you a really big introduction, so go away for now. I also like to thank all of you for being here, and the readers of my book, The Message of You, and the Comedy Bible. And those of you who are also here who are enrolled in the course of how to make a living as a speaker. So glad to have you all here. And today, it's really going to be a great webinar because today we're going to learn how Periscope works. We're also going to learn how to pick the right topics, exactly how to get people to follow you on Periscope, and this is the best, the top 10 ways to use Periscope that generates income and builds your brand. So I'm really excited about that. I found that the more followers I had, that's how I got a book deal. Because when you have a lot of followers, you can sell a lot of your stuff and people are more aware of you and you just have more opportunity. Now, the woman I'm going to introduce today to you is she's here from England, London. Livestream Katya is actually her name. She has branded herself as a live stream expert and a strategist, and she helps speakers and brands utilize live streaming to grow their revenue. She's one of the early adopters, and I know many of you are going like, how can I quit my day job? And is there something that I can do? I want to love my work. Well, Katya was able to do that. She got to quit her job because she found a way to make a living from Periscope. And I can't wait because I want to, first of all, I'm not that familiar with Periscope and I want to learn something about it. So please welcome Katya. Hi, Katya.
Hello, Judy. Hello, everybody. I see 31 beautiful people. Super excited for today.
Yes.
Yes.
And so I know I'm just, I have a little cold today, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to turn it over to you.
Cool.
And I want you, first of all, let's pretend people on this call don't know anything about Periscope. Let's just start from the very beginning. All right? Take it away.
Oh, of course, of course, of course. Well, I'm very excited. I'm just going to share the screen and it's going to be a very chilled session. If you have any questions in the meantime, if you want to interrupt, please do just use the chat button below, and if when we see the questions and the comments, we can stop and we can take some of those, or we can just leave them till the end. But it's good if you think of a question in the moment, type it so that you don't forget it. I always say that, type it so that you don't forget it, and think of it as really informal. This is not a big corporate presentation. This is about you guys, and it's about you and sharing what has worked for me and some of my clients that is universal for everybody for live streaming. And I will make sure that I stay very basic and make sure that everybody understands. So appreciate the introduction. Very, very, very grateful to be here and excited to share what I have learned for the last 16 to 18 months now. I will share a little bit about my story, but I've been doing this full time since November 2015, so it's pretty much a little bit over a year, and very, very excited. So I am Livestream Katya every single platform. Wherever you are, you can find me on Livestream Katya. It's just something that I was quite lucky to get on all social media platforms. Pro tip: if you can ever do that for your own handles, do that, because it's very 50% of you said you wanted more awareness. There's nothing better for awareness than having a consistent handle on all social media platforms. Just makes it easy for people to find you and remember you. So what do I do is the first thing people ask me, and the way that I try to explain it is I am a live streamer first and foremost. So I love creating content. It's my passion. It's what I do. I don't just do it because it makes cash, although that's a great bonus. I absolutely love creating videos, love live streams and engaging with people. Webinars as well is a live stream. And I started this journey in August of 2015. I was working in banking at the time, and I was working as an executive assistant to the managing director of one of the biggest banks in the world. He was managing 12,000 people, and I was his right hand. And I learned so much about leadership and so much about managing people that I kind of felt like I could take those leadership skills and apply them on something of my own. And when I discovered Periscope at the time, I never imagined what it could be for me. And at the very beginning, Periscope was just a tool that I enjoyed. It was just like, how we all have our favorite TV program we can watch for hours and hours and hours, your favorite TV show. Periscope was like that for me. I wasn't watching TV, but I was watching Periscope. And I was very observant. I mean, my brain is always very marketing oriented, very, very switched on when it comes to marketing. And I realized that there were a lot of people using Periscope as a marketing tool, and that really piqued my interest. So I just thought, you know what, I'm going to start doing my own Periscope broadcast, and very quickly I identified the desire and set an intention to build a big following on Periscope. Like, it was just an intention. And what I realized was that I cannot do it on my own, because, as many of you probably hear, I had zero social media presence. Like, I literally had a Twitter account with 100 followers and Facebook account full of all my university friends that I went to law school with. And it was very much of a starting from scratch kind of thing, and I realized that I cannot do it on my own, so I decided to start a community. I called it Perry 10K because the idea was that all of us are going to get 10,000 followers each, because 10,000 is like the big number for influencers. If you have a 10,000 followers, as Judy said, that's when the book deal publishers come and start noticing you, because you're kind of a big deal now. So I started.
Katya, I just want to add, because some of our people are really just beginning in social media. Can you just tell people clearly what it is? It's an app, right? It's an
Yeah. I have a whole introduction, but Periscope is a mobile app that is owned by Twitter. It's a mobile app. It's just a social media video app, and it's pretty much like you can grow a following on it, like Facebook, like Twitter, like Instagram, and just like back in the days with MySpace and the popular social networks. So Periscope is a social media platform, and I was really keen to build an audience, to build an awareness just like you guys, so that I can have something of value, something I can leverage to make a living out of. So so we all got together as a community, right? And we started this community. We called it Perry 10K. We got together and we just started brainstorming. We collaborated. We created videos together. Like, someone is going to do a social media video. I would do a social media video. And we would share this with each other. It's like on Facebook, how you can share the videos and you can share other people's posts. That's the same on Periscope. You can share other people's videos. So what we were doing is growing together until it reached a point that people just said to me, what you're creating is really valuable for the members. You should charge for it. And I was like, okay, if you say so. And when you're 23 and someone says to you, you should charge for it, you're pretty naive and you just say, okay, whatever, let's just do it. So that's what I did, and created a membership fee. Introduced like a landing page that was very low key with a PayPal button and said, join Perry 10K, subscribe here, pay this amount per month. And I had literally within 60 days, I had like 60 members join me. And I looked at my bank account and I realized I have matched my banking salary. I was like,
what was your topic that you were live streaming? What were you live streaming?
So at the time, I wasn't live streaming about anything specific. I was live streaming about anything I was interested in. So I would live stream about personal development. If I would read a book, I would go and live stream and talk about the book. I would talk about law of attraction. I would literally just talk about whatever was on my mind. I'm a very extroverted person, so for me it's very easy to, if something comes on my mind, it's very easy to express it with words, and it was just an easy way to do it through it was just very easy way to do it through Periscope, right? It was such a simple thing to do. And what my members were doing, what we were doing was we were picking topics, like very generic topics, like how to reach your dreams or how to start a business. We were getting really generic topics, and we would all get together and speak on that one topic, and that's what content we would give out to the Periscope community. Because the Periscope community is like Facebook. You know, your Facebook friends are a community. Same with Periscope. Your Periscope followers would get that content on a regular basis. So that's what we were doing at the time. And when I reached that income level, I just said, I'm quitting. That's it. If I can do this Perry 10K part-time and make a living out of it, I can just imagine how much more I can do if I quit, if I focused on it full time. So it was not a planned thing. It was very intuitive. It was very, I didn't have a strategy. I didn't know what I was doing, is what I want to come tell you. So today what I'm going to share about Periscope isn't something that it wasn't a master plan that I did. It was just, I got something, I achieved it, and now I've reversed engineered it, and I know exactly why it worked. I know exactly why it worked, and I've multiplied it, and I've tested it over and over again, and it works for other clients, and it's just been beautiful. So now I wanted to cover a couple of basics about live streaming, because probably some of you probably haven't even heard of the term live streaming. So that's where I wanted to let you know that live streaming is simply video that is not pre-recorded. It's live, it's in real time. When you watch a video on YouTube, it's more likely something that's been uploaded and you're just watching it hours after or days after. And what's happening is that video is edited, it's been worked on, and people have uploaded it in a final version. The difference of live streaming is live. You can have comments, you can engage with people, and I'll tell you about a little bit more about why you should choose live streaming over video in a second. But before I do that, I just wanted to share some interesting stats with you. For any people here who like numbers, give me a whoop whoop in the chat if you like numbers and statistics. These are such simple numbers, but they speak volumes. So Periscope, live video app owned by Twitter. It was founded in March 2015, so it's only less than 2 years old. And it was one of the fastest growing social media platform. There's literally 200 million broadcasts, over 200 million broadcasts on the platform. Those are live videos of real people. Those are real people from all over the world. Heavily in the United States, heavily in the UK, heavily in Russia. Those are kind of like the 3 countries that really dominate it. And there's 110 years, let me repeat this, years of live video content watched every single day on the platform. That means there's a lot of attention, there's a lot of eyeballs on there. And when you have that many people watching, you have that many people you can share your message on, that many people you can impress with your speaking skills, that many people who can discover you as a speaker, right? So that's Periscope. Another thing is that a couple of studies showed that streaming is already overtaking live TV. It's overtaking it over what we are used to seeing on TV. In fact, American TV network viewership has gone down by 34%. Most people nowadays watch things in their own time. They would watch it, on Netflix, or they would watch it after it's already been done. People like to do things on their own terms, and streaming is something you can do on your own terms because, you know, when the person's live, if you're available, you can tune in and you can engage. And TV, you cannot engage with it. And
Now,
then Facebook,
how does
and then
this
face,
compare? Oh, we have a question. How does this
yeah.
compare to streaming to Facebook, which we're actually doing right now? We're streaming this
Oh
live
yes,
onto
yeah,
Facebook.
that's exactly what we're gonna do. So Facebook, the biggest social media platform out there, is 8 billion daily views of videos. That's video views. Um, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, Facebook has been doing heavily TV advertisement of their Facebook Live platform. They've done billboards, they're doing TV adverts, like they're going big to advertise this new thing called Facebook Live. And Facebook Live's been out for about a year now, so it's nothing really new, but now is the time they want to hit it big. And that's why the videos on Facebook have 135% greater organic reach compared to photos. And just imagine how much more in compared to simple text. So video on Facebook, especially live video, is always going to take a preference of your friends and fans' newsfeed. When I post a video on my business page, I get 100 times more engagement and views than if I post an image. I'm sure that applies to all pages across the board. Video is just the preferred method. And if you ever like are not sure if that's true, go to your Facebook, scroll through the news feed and see how many videos you come across, because I am flooded, especially what's happening now with the politics. I am flooded with videos, flooded with reporters and everything. So
So,
that's how it
how do you choose between doing Periscope or live on Facebook?
the way that you choose is very arbitrary. It's very much of a personal choice because they're both very different. They're both do the same thing. They're both great platforms. And if you pick, like, whichever one you pick, you wouldn't make a mistake. If you pick both, you would probably be doing even better. But let's just say for the total beginner who just wants to pick one and doesn't know how, Periscope is a great place to be discovered. It's a great place for someone who has 0 followers, who has no network and is just starting from scratch. Periscope is a great platform for that because Twitter likes to discover people, right? The hashtag is the ultimate search. On Facebook is different. On Facebook gives preference to your friends. You tend to see the same people over and over again. And unless you pay for Facebook adverts, unless you pay to play, you are very rarely going to reach new people who have never seen you. On Periscope, it's the opposite. On Periscope, you reach new people more than you reach existing people. So the way that I describe them, if you want to remember the two differences by using one word, Periscope is tribe builder, Facebook is the tribe nurturer. You build them on Periscope, you nurture them and convert them on Facebook. And that's why I think they're a very powerful combination, because you basically complete the whole funnel, the whole communication funnel. Start from Periscope, send them to Facebook, then send them to your email list, or send them to, you know, a phone call. Let's go jump on a phone call after the Facebook. So that's the difference. Periscope is a tribe builder, Facebook is the tribe nurturer.
Great.
Make sense?
Makes great sense. This is great information.
Perfect. So, as I promised, why you should live stream instead of just doing normal videos. I do both. I want to be upfront. I do both. I do both live videos and pre-recorded content. Why? Because both of these type of content has their own places. So, you know, if you wanted to do a video advert, you wouldn't do it live. You would go and do a production and edit it and all that sorts of stuff. But I wanted to give you a couple of advantages of live over pre-recorded so that you know why it can be a great thing to focus on. Firstly, there is no need for professional equipment, videographer, none of that stuff. I know the traditional live streaming of events is very highly produced, but nowadays all you need is a smartphone. to broadcast from Periscope or Twitter, because you can now broadcast from the Twitter app directly. To broadcast from Twitter, Periscope, or Facebook, you need just a smartphone and a good internet connection. That's it. Okay? You can add a microphone and a tripod and all that kind of stuff, but it's not a OMG, if I don't have that, it won't work. It will work. So no need for equipment. It saves you time as well, because you don't have to do any editing. You don't have to communicate with an editor and send them videos back and forth. You don't have to upload videos. You know, if your internet isn't that great, uploading a single video can take forever. But also, because you're not buying equipment, you're not buying editing software, you're not paying an editor, you're saving money too. And you're producing content. So if right now producing because some videographers are going to charge you like $1,000 per minute for a highly produced video, that is a great alternative for free. It's absolutely free. It literally is amazing. And then one thing that pre-recorded video cannot give you is immediate feedback. Same as webinars. We can ask you questions and you can respond straight away, and we can have a two-way conversation here on the webinar. That's the same with Periscope and Facebook Live. On pre-recorded video, you can only read the comments after. Okay? So that's a great thing, especially if you're doing research, which I'll share with you later as a strategy for growing your business. And the most important thing about live streaming that I think is the biggest asset is that because it's live, because there's no scripting, there's no BS, it's real. It's real. You know that this is the real person. Like right now, I'm talking to you. There is no pausing. There's no there is no, oh my God, Judy, please cut this so that people don't think I am really bad at this video thing. It's live. And you know what? You trust people more when they're showing up live. I mean, you as speakers, you've attended other speaker events. When someone speaks from the heart and they're live and you see it, there's just something magical about that. The only live streaming can do, pre-recorded video will never do. That connection is just magical. So those are the benefits. Those are the benefits that I just wanted you to consider. If you have any questions, type them in the chat so that we can see them. But we can come back later as well if you have any questions whatsoever. If Judy, if you want to add something, please feel free to interrupt as well.
Well, my only only question now is, it's just so remarkable to me that people are paying because there's so much free content, and I'm just wondering what is the value of the content that, I mean, it's not just the gadget itself, it's like, what is the content, what is the most valuable content that you would live stream?
Yeah, well, the most valuable content is what your most valuable knowledge is, or what your most valuable asset is. So for someone in the room, it could be their comedy skills. There's plenty of comedians on Periscope who that's how they share their gift, through Periscope. There's a lot of Periscope famous comedians, literally niche celebrities on Periscope. The Periscope community does consider as celebrities because of that. So the high value content, I'll share with you later a little formula how you can create a more relevant content. But for now, just want you to know that valuable content is value in general is anything that people would consider worth their time. Is this, after you watch that, if you had a broadcast and someone spent 20 minutes watching it, after that 20 minutes, did they feel like they wasted their time, or did they feel like they gained something from it? Whether they gained inspiration, whether they gained, their mood improved, or they learned something new. From my broadcast, usually what people get most of my personal broadcasts is literally is they smile. I know that sounds super simple, but my broadcasts are usually very, very funny, very like short, and they're very cute. Sometimes I dance, sometimes I wear funny hats, as you can see. And the most often reason people come and watch me is, Katya, I missed you in my life. I need you so that I have a better day. I just love watching you. It makes my day better. So you will give different value out of everything.
We have just a couple questions.
Yeah.
First of all, is this form of media more relevant for a younger audience, or is this for all age groups?
So that's something that is more related to Snapchat. So Snapchat, you can say it's more for younger audience. Live streaming is really for everybody, because think about it. Facebook's biggest audience is actually the over 30s. The young audience actually hates Facebook. If you have any kids under the age of 18, you should know that they are not very keen on Facebook. So Facebook Live is really everybody. Periscope, I would say, is very diverse as well. My members, my Perry 10K members, they're all Periscopers, and I would say their average age is about 35. So I would definitely not class them as younger generation, although 35 is pretty young if you ask me. So um if that's what you want to say, younger audience, 35 on average, then go for it. But I would say it's very diverse with Facebook as well. For anybody that is worried that, oh my god, would that reach relevant people, Facebook Live allows you to boost those Facebook Live videos on your business page, and you can target a specific age group. So you can say, I want to target 50 to 60-year-old men living in California with that video. So you can totally do that as well if you are really specific with your niche. Any other questions? I can see a couple on the
We
chat
have
as well.
somebody who wants to know how to, can you turn the chirp alert of when someone he's following starts broadcasting?
Can you turn the what alert? Sorry?
There's some kind of sound that keeps chirping.
Let's see. Chirping. I'm not really
Chirp.
sure what they mean.
Beep. It beeps. It makes a beep.
Oh, you mean the notification sound?
Yes.
Oh yes, it does make a sound, but you can switch that off. You can switch off the notification from every single app. Pro tip for everybody: switch off all notifications from all social media apps, and you will automatically be way more productive in your day. I guarantee you that for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go on with your
Yeah.
content.
Let's go on with it. So let me show you how Periscope works, because this is going to be super helpful for you so that you can see exactly how it works and how to get followers. So this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like before you start a broadcast. This is the camera that is pointing the other way, so it's not pointing at you, it's pointing at something else. And you have a start broadcast button. You can add a title. It's very important what you put in the title, because your title is like your headline on the newspaper. The headline is what draws you to read something. So the headline of your broadcast is what's going to draw someone to come and watch your broadcast. And what it looks like is, when you start live, at the bottom right screen, you can see how many people are watching you live. And at the left, you can see the comments. So comments are going to float in the middle of the screen the whole time. And sometimes you're not going to be able to read all of them, but at least you'll be able to see them. And you can always go back and rewatch your replay, see the comments again if you want to. And as you can see, there's hearts floating on the right side as well. Hearts on Periscope are like likes on Facebook. It's just an acknowledgement that I'm here, I'm listening, I'm engaging. The more hearts you have, basically, the more engaged your audience is. It doesn't give you any cash, it doesn't give you any brownie points, but it's a symbol of people's attention. It's a symbol that people care. This is what you see on the main page. So when you open the app, this is what you see. At the very top, you see the live broadcasts, and then at the bottom, you see the replays. So just because it's a live video app, it doesn't mean that people can't watch your videos afterwards. You know, you can go live now, and you can say to your audience, or to your fans, or to your friends, that you've done a broadcast, and they can go watch it. And the broadcast does not expire, so it can stay there. You can embed it on your website. You know, you can take the tweet embed code, and you can embed that broadcast on your website. So, you know, for anybody that is a fan of blogging, if you blogged about something and then you did a video that adds to that blog, that is a great value adding to your blog for your audience, for your readers, and it's just a nice way for them to get to know you. So replays, usually you get more people watching lives than replays, but the replays are still great for building awareness of what you are about. And then this is what you see when the broadcast finishes. You can, you can turn your location on. If you turn your location on, what happens is people who are scrolling on the map, there's a Periscope map, they can go into their local areas and they can discover people locally. So let's say you're a local business. It's a great thing to turn on the notification, and then local customers can discover you that way. Remember, I talked about Periscope is great for discoverability. One of the biggest reasons is because of that map. It's because there's a live map of the whole world, and you can go and watch a live broadcast anywhere in the world. And you can discover easily, and that's why you get more viewers, that's why you get more followers than you would on Facebook, which only shows to your friends.
Katya, somebody's asking if do you need a special audio mic setup?
So do you need a special setup?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay.
Would it help?
Yeah.
Would it help though? Yes, it would. Okay, so my caveat is don't let that stop you from starting. But I think in the first month and a half, I didn't use any equipment. I used a Samsung Galaxy S4, which, for those of you, if you don't know, it's a very robotic, very, very old phone with terrible camera. But after a month and a half, I invested in a Rode microphone. It's RODE, Rode Smart Lav microphone, which is just a smartphone lapel mic. And I also have a small tripod that I can carry in my bag so that I don't have a shaky live stream. Because when you hold it with your hand, it's very easy to shake it off like Taylor Swift would do on her song, you know. So I now, obviously this is my job, so I have a whole sort of equipment. I have tripods, I have lighting, I have everything. But do you need it? No, you don't.
Is the mic a wired mic, or do you use Bluetooth mic?
I use a wired mic. However, there are mics that are, there is a mic called Rode Video Mic Me, which is just a plug-in directional microphone. You plug it on your phone, but there's no cable involved. You just plug it on the phone, and then you just speak from distance, and it just captures in the sound, kind of like the vlogging microphones. There's no cable involved, so you can, dance around and do all sorts of stuff.
And it's a little mic, right? It's a little mic.
It's very little.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very little. It's very little. And the one that doesn't have a cable, it just attaches to the phone, and you just leave it with the phone on the side. That's it.
Great.
All right. So I am ready for the juicy bit, which is 10 super exciting ways to use Periscope for your business. I see one question that someone says, I'm getting ready to upgrade my smartphone. Is there a smartphone that you suggest we get or stay away from? Yes. Stay away from Androids. Androids tend to have better camera, but most mobile apps, like live video apps, they always invest in iOS first. So what happens is they fix all the bugs on iOS, but they don't fix anything on Android. So what happened was I had an Android for quite a while, and it was so buggy, I just couldn't live stream. I had to buy an iPhone. So all video apps are more friendly with iOS because I guess that's just the market that tends to consume more of that content. So they invest always in iPhone first. Um, if you're going to go for a Samsung, make sure you go for the latest. That's all I would say. For iPhone, anything iPhone 6 or more would do great. Anything iPhone 6, 6S or 7, perfect.
And is
And
there a way, we have a question here, is there a way for people to contact you after the live broadcast? For example, if they want to hire you as a speaker or something you're selling or what?
so on the app, particularly on the Periscope app, no, but that's the point. The point of the Periscope broadcast is for awareness and for you to give them something to contact you on. So when I do my broadcast, I tend to give a call to action at the end, such as, "Hey, thank you so much for watching my broadcast. If you want to connect, email me. All right, here's my email address. Email me." Or I have said this before. If you want me to speak at your event, contact me on this. Go to this link and contact me. I literally had literally 10 minutes before this webinar, I had some kind of a travel conference in Philadelphia that contacted me and said, "Hey, we're looking for speakers in live video who can talk about how it impacts the travel industry." Right? So these people have probably watched a broadcast of mine somewhere. They saw me, I talk about it. They probably heard me say, "If you want me to book me as a speaker, click on this link." I had no idea who they are, but they discovered me and they just emailed me and said, "Do you want to come and speak to Philadelphia?" So who knows? I could be visiting in March. You know.
Okay,
And
well,
that was
I don't want to get in the way of this. I'm very excited to learn 10 ways of using Periscope for your business.
awesome. So let's do this. So first of all, people are always, they're a little bit skeptical about, yeah, but it's just a social media, how can you make money? What's the ROI? And the truth is, a lot of us are used to the old ways of networking, right? Networking is always been the way to finding referrals and stuff. And I want you to think of live streaming and social media as a networking online. You're networking with potential customers, potential collaborators, potential, like right now, me and Judy are networking, creating something together for you guys. So I want you to, first of all, to think of live streaming as networking online rather than as something that you need to pluck an ROI from. Because what's the ROI of going to a BNI meeting or a Toastmasters, it's not as easily quantifiable. But I want to show you 10 ways that you can use it to help you generate revenue and help you build that awareness that you really wanted at the beginning of the poll. So the first way that is super simple, like you have no idea what to talk about, you know what? If you have an expertise, just do an Ask Me Anything broadcast. You literally, before you go live, you put a title. Let's just say, like Judy, I am a master of creating your message. Ask me anything. Or I am a comedian. Ask me anything. I am a professional comedian. Ask me anything. And what happens is anybody that's interested in that can tune in, they can ask you questions, and what's going to happen is two things. One, you can learn a lot about the audience, what they really want, and then create products as a result of that. But two, you can also build relationship with some of those people, and based on the question they asked and the answer that you gave them, they may hire you. Okay, so that's the first thing. Ask me anything. If you don't know what to talk about, do an Ask Me Anything. You cannot go wrong with these. And the more interesting you can frame it, like instead of just saying I'm a live stream strategist, I can say I'm a live streamer that does that for a living. Ask me anything, because that's a little bit more interesting. So, or who I'm a comedian who likes to throw flames on stage. Ask me anything. I don't know. Make it something interesting. So that's number one. Number two is teach something. Get on Periscope and teach something that will attract someone who will be an ideal client. If you don't know your avatar, I'm sure Judy can really help you with that. But you want to know who your ideal customer or um, who your ideal niche is that you're going after in terms of speaking events or in terms of clients. what you want to do is you want to teach content or teach trainings that would interest those type of people. So for me, I would teach something that is to do with using Facebook Live for small businesses. You know, that could be a topic, or it could be what live video equipment could you use. All you need to do is teach something you're good at and you're passionate about. Number 3, use live streaming. Remember, live streaming has feedback. You get instant comments. So use that to research. I sometimes, Judy, I'm not joking. Sometimes I get on Periscope and say, hey, I want to create some kind of a course. I have no idea what. What do you like from me? And they all say, we want a course on Snapchat. We want a course on this. We want a course on this. And I look at the trends, I survey the people, and then I make a decision based on that rather than just making decision based on what I think is best for them. I just ask them, okay? That not only involves them, but it helps you build your business. It helps you make decisions that is going to bring you money in the long term. I mean, research is so underestimated, and it's so useful. It can save you time, it can save you money. Don't underestimate it. The number 4, behind the scenes of your business. People sometimes ask me, but how is that going to generate income? Well, Gary Vaynerchuk, great example of someone who shares behind the scenes of his business, and as a result of that, he's elevated his brand to a level that he charges almost over $100,000 for speaking. And I guarantee you, if he was not the Gary Vee of the internet that we know of, nobody would pay him that. He's just made himself in high demand by creating behind the scenes content so that we can see who he is. It's
What's
powerful.
an example of behind the scenes?
So an example, let's say you're a speaker. Behind the scenes for you could be you being on stage and practicing your speech. If you are a consultant and maybe you maybe you have an office and you have clients, it could be that you can stream while you're in a client meeting. Of course, if you don't do anything confidential, of course. Another thing is, like for me, for example, I stream sometimes when I'm in the coffee, like when I'm working from the cafe, and I just I just get on and just share what I've been up to, how my day went, what I've been working on. Or sometimes I would share behind the scenes, like what has really worked for me. Like I would say, look guys, I just got 27,000 views on this broadcast and I think I know why. Yeah. So I just show behind the scenes of what I'm doing as a person. I mean, when I hit a moment. I have now over 35,000 social media fans on the internet, but I had a point where I only had 6,000, and I literally went from 6,000 to 20,000 in literally 3 weeks. It was a massive jump. And at that point, I remember I had so many people come to me and say, hey, how did that happen? So what I did is I used that as an opportunity to share behind the scenes of the numbers and show them the graph, show them how it all evolved. So that's a great behind the scenes example. Show them what it's like in your life and in your business. And you know, Gary Vee does it. Gary Vee, he would show you a video of him being in the taxi and speaking on the phone, or him being in a meeting, or him being on stage. That's what it's about. That's what I mean by behind the scenes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Very good.
Number 5 is, and it's very simple, showcase your products and services. Show them. And I want to give you a very good example of what I mean by don't sell but share. If you have ever heard of Frank Kern? Frank Kern is one of the biggest marketers on the internet, and he has got something that I would call the Frank Kern method, which is treat your followers like your friends rather than like your customers. So what you do is, when you create a product, like I have a planner that I'm marketing now, which I'll share at the end, and I say to people, hey, you know, there's 2 ways to market it. You can say, hey, I have a live video planner. It's free. Go download it now. that's treating my audience as they're the people that are going to download it. That's treating them as buyers. Instead, what I do is I go and say, hey friends, I have this new video planner coming. I want your opinion. Which cover photo do you think looks best? Do you think number 1, 2, or 3? So I go to my friends and share my products in a way that gets them involved in the creation and then the marketing of it. I involve my friends with the product. I don't sell to them.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Right? Yeah?
Yes. Brilliant.
Frank Kern, thank him. I learned it from him. But it's so simple. Showcase the product and treat your audience like they're friends. Like, hey friends, come and have a look over my shoulder to see what I've been working on. He's very good at that. If you read his email, that's what he always does. He always says, come have a look over my shoulder to see some of these results that I've had, when in reality, it's a sales pitch. But you don't feel like it's a sales pitch, so you feel more connected to him and you end up buying.
Interesting.
Very simple and powerful. 6, for anybody that's thinking, oh gosh, but I don't want to go live because then what's going to happen after with that footage? Well, use that footage, repurpose it, download it, send it to a video editor, let them make it look pretty, give it a template, upload it on YouTube if you want, upload it on Facebook, upload it on Instagram, repurpose it. Or if you have a transcriber, send the video to your transcriber, let them type it up, then you can create a blog post out of it. Very simple. Use it and repeat. Rinse and repeat. If a video you did resonated with people, it's very likely that they're going to enjoy it in a written form as well. So take advantage of it. Your blog can drive traffic. Instagram can drive traffic. Drive as much traffic as you can by repurposing and redistributing it everywhere. Now, Gary Vee has a team of 20 people that does that. You really just need one person to do that, or you can do it yourself. You can just start with.
Can you repurpose something from, you do it in Periscope, can you repurpose it to Instagram as well?
Yes, you can, because what you would do, what I have done is download the Periscope, send it to my editor, say, hey, Jason, can you please take the best bits of the video and chop them up and put them in a 1-minute clip, because that's the maximum Instagram allows, 1-minute clip, and just put it on and just make it square, and then let's use that as a teaser to my Periscope, or let's use that as a teaser to my live video planner. So yes, you can. Although having said that, the whole process of downloading it from Periscope, sending it to the editor, you might as well just turn the camera on and shoot a 50-second video and just upload it on Instagram. I think that will be much quicker. But if you really wanted to, experiment and repurpose, yes, you can. But it's super simple.
And we have a question here. What's the best way to do it, in horizontal or vertical?
So if you want to repurpose it for YouTube or for Instagram or for any other platforms, then landscape is great, because then it would be a landscape video. That would be horizontal. All right. So landscape is very good for repurposing. However, I have to say that the vertical videos are getting more and more popular, because it's the natural way of the iPhone. When you hold the phone, you're not holding it in landscape mode, you're holding it in portrait mode. So I think I personally do both. I haven't noticed any difference in numbers. It's just that if you really want to repurpose it, make it a landscape, because then it will be easier for you to upload it. And if you aren't worried about repurposing, then do it portrait. But yeah, I would say that would be an individual preference, really. Your style. Find your style that works for you. Number 7. Oh, this is my favorite. On Periscope, there is an option that you can do a private Periscopes to a certain amount of people or to a group. So here's the beauty of it. I don't have a webinar platform, or I don't know where to sell my stuff. Well, create a Periscope group of, let's say you have 10 people in your group coaching program, and then scope privately just to those and make it training, and then charge them for those private trainings. Like, this can literally be an income stream for you. You can literally train people through Periscope, and they can be there live. They can ask questions. It's like charging for a webinar. There's a lot of people who charge for a webinar. Not all webinars are free. And you can do the exact same thing with Periscope. You just charge people. Once they pay, you add them to the group, and then you stream for them. And it can be a membership thing. It can be for $10 a month. I will do one training a month with all of you. And if you get 10 people, that's another $100 in your pocket every month that you didn't have. Private scope trainings are super simple, and all you need is a PayPal button. That's it. That's it.
Okay.
The next one is a giveaway broadcast. So if you're a product-based business, this is perfect. Product-based businesses, doing a giveaway on your broadcast account or with other live streamers account. There's influencers who can do the giveaway on your behalf. You can generate a lot of buzz about your product by doing a massive giveaway. Schedule it in advance, schedule it a month in advance, organize a couple of influencers to come and share it, and get thousands of people on the broadcast, and then give away some of your products for free. I mean, Instagram giveaways are very popular because it's a great way to build awareness and to give back to the community. And Robert Cialdini always says reciprocity is the mother of persuasion. The more you give, the more people want to feel the need to give back. So giving away something makes them more loyal and potentially buy in the future.
Now, when you're going to Periscope and do one of these events, do you promote it ahead of time, like on this day, on this time, I'm going to be Periscoping? Or do you do it every day at a certain time? Or and where do you advertise it?
So I've done it all. I've done where I pre-schedule, and then I announce. I could announce on my email. I could announce on Facebook. I can announce everywhere pretty much. I've done it where I've done it every day at certain time where I do a regular show, and I've done it where I just do it very natural and no planning, no nothing, and it works great. I have to say, it works perfect either way. It's really a personal preference. Like, know yourself. Are you the type of person who can stick to a daily video? Great. If not, are you the type of person who is organized enough to make sure that you promote your broadcast in advance? Then great. But really, there isn't a best way. I personally go live without any, like, I don't give any notifications anymore, and I would get 2,000 people like that after I've built that. Now that I've built the platform, that's what happened.
Is there a certain time that's better than others?
No. The best time is the best time for you.
Yeah,
really. Now, the best time is now.
The best time is now. And how long do you do it for? What's a good length?
I know people who do it for 2 minutes. I know people who do it for 2 hours. A good rule of thumb is people's attention span is usually up to 20 minutes. Right? Mm-hmm. So I try to, if I do something educational, I try to keep it 20 minutes or less.
Okay.
It's easy to digest. All right.
Okay. So number 9 is networking.
Number 9 is Periscope is great for networking. Remember what I said at the very beginning? Networking with other like-minded people can bring you a lot of referrals, new clients, great results, and it just makes you feel like you're connected to other people like yourself. If you're an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, it can be a little lonely, especially if your community around you is all people who are, who have been working their whole life and they don't really see what that thing entrepreneurship is. And, they're like, when are you going to get a job? Like, when are you going to get a job? Never, because I give jobs. You know that, So yeah, and then the final way you can use it to build not only revenue but to also build your brand awareness by brand association is interviewing experts. When you interview experts on Periscope, you're not only being shown as someone who is collaborative and who is always looking to expand their knowledge by bringing others, but you also associate themselves with that person immediately. So it's great for your brand too. So those are the 10 ways. I would encourage you, if you're watching this right now, if you haven't written it down, take a screenshot of this. Just take a screenshot of this screen and get back to it. Get back to it. If you ever get stuck of, oh, what should I do? Come back to that slide. Screenshot it, go back to it. Those are 10 ideas you can do right now. And if you don't know which one, remember, do an Ask Me Anything. Do an
Well,
Ask Me Anything.
now, when you get people to pay you to view your periscopes, obviously you have a you have a free format as well, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yes. So when you pay, you're talking about your private group, right?
I'm talking about private periscopes. I'm
Okay,
talking about you can do private and public. Public will be where everyone can find it.
got it.
Private is where you only broadcast to specific people that you chose.
Okay,
You
got it.
chose. It's like having a Facebook group and broadcasting inside a private Facebook group. Only the members inside can see it. So it's great for people who have group programs like your program. Like your program is great. You could have a Periscope private coaching call every month or something,
Got it.
and that could be an extra benefit that people pay extra for or whatever. Make sense?
Makes sense.
So now that you know the 10 ways, your questions, okay, but I know the 10 ways, but how do I go about to actually create the broadcast content? Like, what do I talk about during? And that's where my signature content hamburger comes in to show you how to create unlimited content that brings you leads and brings you revenue and brings you relevant people. And the reason I call it the hamburger formula, and if you're a vegetarian, you can call it the veggie burger formula. That's fine. But the reason I call it that is because every hamburger has buns and layers, right? It has the buns and it has the cheese, it has the burger. So it's very simple in the way that we create content, the way that I create content with that formula that looks like a hamburger. And here's how it works. Step one is you write down the 7 most common questions you get asked by your potential clients, and those are your hamburger buns. Okay, so for Judy, let's say, could be how do I get more funny? How can I get more funny on videos? Another one could be how do I bring humor without sounding silly? Because some people worry that their humor is not going to be accepted. Or it could be, how do I connect with other comedians so that I can get on stage with them? And then how do I get comic speaking gigs? So write down the 7 most common questions that you get asked, and those are your hamburger buns. Once you've written those questions, you want to look at them and turn them into headlines. You want to turn them into video titles. So if the question was, how can I be more funny on videos? Then, the title of the video can be 3 steps to be more funny on video. Okay, so you
Hmm.
want to turn it into a video headline. Once you have the headline, you want to split that video into 3 or 4 different parts. Let's say 4 parts for simplicity. And you want to take that video piece and split it into 4 different sections. So let's get back to the how can I 3 steps to be more funny on video. Okay, step 1 can be introduction to humor on video. Step 2 can be how to yourself and be funny on video. Step 3 can be how to insert jokes on video. And step 4 can be how to tell a story in a way that the humor is, taken. Right? So these are just
Hmm.
very out top of my head examples. And those are part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. These are your hamburger layers. So what you end up there with is you have a whole hamburger ready, and you take all 7 questions and you break them down into 4 different parts. So that's 7 times 4. You end up with 28 days worth of highly relevant content that is going to attract your ideal clients who potentially will become customers, right? And you want to rinse and repeat that and do it, and you can do it for as many videos as you want. One example that I gave you, I just finished a video series called Online Business Confessions. I've done 23 videos using the content hamburger formula. I did 23 and I schedule them for 23 weeks ahead. So one video per week on my on my Facebook page and my YouTube channel is going to come out every week. So my face is going to show up on people's newsfeed every single week. And I batch created it, and it's just the quickest way to create an enormous amount of content that is going to attract the people you want to attract.
And this content is really just you with your phone talking to it. It's not like
you're not with my phone.
Just yakking, right? Just yakking, and not special effects and lower thirds.
No. The video series that I just did, I did pre-recorded, so they weren't live, right? Mm-hmm. But the content hamburger formula that I'm sharing can be done with live videos. It's just you, your phone. Get a microphone if you'd like to, because it's going to improve the sound of your broadcast. The sound is the most important thing of your broadcast, pretty much, because people sometimes like to just listen and not necessarily watch. But all you need is your phone, a little microphone if you want to, and roll it. Just press live and do the content hamburger formula. And what happens is you end up just having so much clarity as to what you're going to do with your videos that you just feel like, oh my gosh, I feel so productive. That is exactly what's happened. You just feel so productive, and you get to have your face everywhere on social media. So that's the content hamburger formula. And if you want to put it into practice, you can actually use my planner that I have that literally lists out the whole content hamburger formula. It actually goes into a little bit more details, gives real examples, and it gives you free blocks where you can add your hamburgers and your buns and your content. And you can put it in. You can put all these layers, the cheese, the hamburger, and you can make money out of it.
All right, we have a couple questions. Candace asked, when we download the app, it says Periscope Editor and other categories. She asked, should we join all of them, or what's the difference or the benefit?
So what you see there, these are not really categories. These are just accounts that you can follow. So Periscope Editorial is like it's like a Twitter account that shares broadcasts. Those that you see follow, these are just things you can follow. They're not categories. They're just, what are you interested in? Follow it. If you aren't, don't. So Periscope Editorial is just the editorial team sharing certain broadcasts.
And Gina asks, how do you start a community to broadcast your ideas and contents? How do you start that? How do you
start a community to broadcast your content? Well, there's plenty of different ways to do it. You can do it through, like the way that I did it through Facebook. You know, I had a Facebook group at the time, and that's how I broadcasted. On Periscope, you can create a group. There's an option where you can create a group and then just broadcast to that community, and that's it. So if you go to your profile, there is a create a group option. There is a button that you just click on it, and then you can create a community that way. Or Facebook groups are a great way as well.
All right, and thank you so much. And so everybody, download the live video planner. And Katja, I just want to thank you so much for this.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm very, very excited about, the 2017 and live streaming. And it's exactly why I created a planner. The reason I created it, and you can download it at livevideoplanner.com. But the reason I created this, and, the reason I still educate people on Periscope and live streaming, and the reason I'm so passionate about it is that I have seen the amount of results. I have seen the amount of attention and awareness and revenue that has come from just being consistent on these platforms. It's like, the people who were Twitter early adopters, now some of them have millions of followers. These accounts are a great asset for them. They are
Mhm.
huge assets. And I just see Periscope and Facebook Live and just live streaming in general being so huge. I literally see it being mainstream. Right now it's just something that really businesses do. But I really see it's something that will become like mainstream. I see you in 10 years time, I see us all wearing contact lenses that when you wake up, they stream everything you see. No privacy whatsoever on
Yeah.
the planet Earth.
Oh,
Literally everything
wait. I did
would,
something weird.
oh,
I'm
it's
sorry.
okay. It's
Okay.
okay. Literally everything would be, virtual reality. Everything would be streamed live. So I think this will be very mainstream. And that's why I created a planner, so that I can encourage people to put a plan together, so that they don't just feel like, okay, I'm going to start tomorrow, but I don't know what to talk about. Well, I'm going to start the night after. You know how if we don't actually put it pen and paper, often
Hmm.
we don't do it. And that's how I
Yes.
was like, I want to create something physical that people can use, and it's free.
Absolutely. You've been wonderful. It's been great having you. Thank you.
Super. It's been my pleasure. Thank you, everybody. I hope you use Periscope. I hope you join Judy's group as well. Get get online and start showing up, and looking forward to seeing your faces on the internet.